Yes. The government layoffs. I mean, the government. The Xbox layoffs. Yeah, I saw a lot of this before. Oh, it's far dark. This is a good one. I already
Basically,
know it.
everybody hates Xbox right now. You've
love her.
got
She's
some
super
gamers
nice.
who are upset that they canceled the new ZeniMax MMO,
pretty
that
base takes.
Everwild was canceled and Perfect Dark was canned. You've got a lot of gamers.
I am pissed about Perfect Dark getting canned. I wanted to see that. I don't give a crap about Everwild. But Perfect Dark, that's so demoralizing. So demoralizing. Give me another Perfect Dark. So good. Perfect Dark Zero was kind of trash, but I really wanted to see that. Although, she did have that really big chin. Make her more of a girl in the trailer. I'm talking about the Perfect Dark reboot. She had a chin, if you don't remember. It was like a manly chin. It was strange.
Who are saying that we don't even know what you guys are planning to put out over the next few years at this point. And then you've got developers who are saying Xbox is a trash company because they either got fired or they're afraid that they're going to lose their jobs in the near future. And now you've also got the Xbox layoffs being criticized because an EA exec is taking shots at them, calling out the obsession with short-term results. So Xbox is facing criticism from the gaming community and the wider industry this week after laying off around 9,000 employees. That's not necessarily true. While, yes, Xbox was part of that 9,000, it wasn't just Xbox that laid off 9,000 people. It was Microsoft in general, and Microsoft, of course, has over 200,000 employees. It says this has included studio closures and game cancellations, making many lose whatever.
Let me also include that they hired 6,690 Indians to come take their jobs from India, computer scientists, because they're cheaper. Brought them in. So I just wanted to include that to smear it in Xbox's face more, that they outsourced American jobs. Yeah.
Fate they had left in Xbox after a troubles console generation. I think that this was AI because it says troubles instead of troubled, but also this 9,000 employee fact isn't true. It was 9,000, again, across Microsoft, not specifically Xbox, but okay, AI. Now someone from another company that is no stranger to criticism is weighing in on the conversation, as spotted by MP First, EA Japan's general.
I don't know if it's AI, because AI wouldn't make that mistake. A retard made it. It's probably more of a retard made it.
Manager shared his thoughts on the layoffs, blaming Xbox's obsession with short-term success in return for long-term investments. Particularly in recent years, foreign companies have increasingly demanded short-term results for large-scale investments, and there are not infrequent cases where a change in direction is made to meet shareholder expectations before sufficient time has been invested. The gaming industry is supported by each and every creator and staff member who has diligently worked on development at the forefront. As someone in the same industry, I feel deep pain regarding this decision, the frustration of something built over a long time not seeing the light of day, and the reality that gamers who are looking forward to it cannot even experience it. Both are truly regrettable. And sure, while I didn't have high hopes for most of the games that they canceled, ultimately some of them could have turned out to be good. I like ZeniMax. I would have really enjoyed to see some sort of big fantasy MMORPG because I'm an MMO fan.
ZeniMax is Bethesda, if you don't know. If you say ZeniMax, it's another word for Bethesda. Yeah. And I don't agree. I don't like a lot of ZeniMax's stuff. So, no. I liked Evil Within. I had to look at the box. Evil Within. That got shut down, so guess what? I don't really care.
I love OG Perfect Dark. While I still was kind of cautiously optimistic regarding what we had seen, it didn't appear to be bad. I had a bad feeling, though, that it was a fake trailer, and that was basically confirmed from a disgruntled employee, that they basically just like put a bunch of specific footage together to put out at that event. And Everwild, I mean, we really knew nothing about it, so I can't say I'm heartbroken there. But yeah, I mean, as a creator, it does suck to see potentially years of your work shelved, but it's not like they didn't get paid. It's not like they lost out on a paycheck. They got paid for all those years of work. So on one hand, yeah, I do kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's not like, you know, they didn't actually get anything out of it and they put.
But they got replaced by Indians. So I do feel bad because their jobs were clearly still needed. It's just that they were too much money for a multi-billion-dollar corporation to spend on. Yeah. I'm not taking the company's side here.
Years of work and effort into it for literally nothing in return. According to this article, it says a level designer for the Perfect Dark reboot has responded to claims that the gameplay reveal from the 2024 Xbox showcase was basically fake. The developer, The Initiative, was shut down as part of ongoing mass layoffs in Microsoft's gaming division that began on July 2nd, and the game is now officially canceled. So it seems that these disgruntled devs have come out and now reported that, yeah, apparently it was basically fake. Ethan Gotch said that the gameplay slice shown off in the Perfect Dark trailer was not indicative of the level of progress perceived.
Well, I do want to say this. Why would they make a trailer? Why would they make a whole game? The trailer does bad, and then guess what? It doesn't sell well. You lose $200 million. I mean, honestly, we're probably going to get more fake trailers because of how expensive it is to make a game, and they're looking for the trailer's reception to see if they're going to fund the game.
Have been made on the game, and the level designer responded to it and explained which aspects of the trailer were real and fake. He said that it worked best if you played it the way the person playing it in the video plays it. The real gameplay system shown off worked just enough to look good in this video. The parkour is all real. The hacking and deception is mostly real. The combat is real, but it's set up to be played exactly that way. And he goes on to explain that the team made decisions to avoid intentionally lying to players about the game state. So yeah, unfortunately, it did have some fake stuff in it. So even if you were excited based off of this trailer, unfortunately, you were excited for a fiction. You were not excited for what they actually intended to deliver to you. They hoped that the whole entire game was going to be like this, but it wasn't actually the game that they...
Any game is like that. Until you get a final trailer, any game can change like that. That could be anything. And this was at least partially real, which I mean is better than some companies. I'm not going to offend faking advertisements. I think it should have been a gameplay trailer and probably a all-around one, but I'm still think it's something they should have did.
Had created so far. Indeed, it does seem that we have seen Western companies rush to deem a game or a studio a failure. Perhaps the most infamous example is Concord, which PlayStation pulled the plug on after just 2 weeks. It then shuttered the studio, which we are seeing far too often
probably
in
one of the largest
climate. Yeah, because they're just making content that is not making money, and that people ultimately don't want. Again, there was never going to be a future for a game like Concord. They could have left that online for 5 years and nobody would have played it because nobody played the beta, nobody played it the 12 days that it was online, and nobody was really talking about it in a positive way. It's not even like a lot of people felt like, oh my goodness, this will eventually turn out to be a great game. It was just a trash fire all around, so nobody was heartbroken over it. It says EA itself has done this plenty of times. Most recently, Dragon Age The Veilguard was written off after selling 1.5 million copies in its first few months, leading to pretty much the entire Dragon Age team being laid off at BioWare again with the lies. It didn't sell 1.5 million copies. It engaged 1.5 million players. In that, maybe it did sell 1 million copies, and that's being generous, but ultimately they needed to sell millions upon millions upon millions with the rumored budget. So it's just a lie to try to get you to believe what they're saying. Now Xbox has killed a bunch of games before they...
She's absolutely right there. 100%.
Even got the chance to see the light of day. This includes the Perfect Dark revival, a new MMO from ZeniMax, and whatever Romero Studios was cooking up. Yeah, that one's really sad to me. Something that I was personally...
amazing.
looking forward to, just because I kind of trusted the studio and I would basically
trust
buy
John
whatever they put
Romero.
out, just judging by his track record.
John Romero made Doom, if you didn't know. Context matters here. Doom is, I mean, I think everyone knows what Doom is.
Though I can't say
If you
that
don't
in
check out
general,
my
I'm
review
too
of Doom
shocked
Dark
by this,
Ages.
given so many companies right now are going through layoffs. We're seeing so many cancellations, and this is what happens when you overhire and underdeliver. You are hiring way too many juniors, which are people who just don't know what they're...
No, I think it's fully mismanagement. If they hired that many people and they all succeeded, each one of these games succeeded, they wouldn't have been fired. But the management, they had miscoping ideas, they had different views, they couldn't coexist, they couldn't co-align on how it wanted to be. No, I don't think they overhired here.
doing in this industry. You're firing the veterans that are actually good at their jobs, who know what people want generally.
They also
and then you are releasing games like Dragon Age of Veilguard, which took a decade to cook, hundreds of millions of dollars in development costs, and then it was just slop all around. And I'm not heartbroken over most of these. You know, I want games to come out and I want games to be good, but at the same time, it is what it is, right? I'd rather a game be canceled than them continue to put resources into something that was going to come out and might not be good. Sure,
I think Xbox is blowing anything to the wind. I think they're in a pickle right now. I think they are the most set up for future. But I also see them as cannibalizing themselves, because an Xbox is just taking a sale from anyone who doesn't buy from the Microsoft Store on their PC. How many people have Windows? A load of people. How many people have an Xbox? Not a load of people. So I think Xbox is scrambling to throw stuff together. They want you to sign up for Game Pass, but I think Game Pass is costing too much. And their management of their companies, they thought they could be able to handle, because they keep buying them, can't handle it without the top management.
there are inevitably going to be people that got laid off that were actually good at their jobs, and my heart does go out to those genuinely passionate developers who are pretty decent game developers, but at the end of the day, they hired way too many people. It was bound to happen, and while I have really no love for modern day Xbox, it's not like they have nothing in the works. They have canceled a few notable projects, but they've still got probably 50 games in development, just smaller sized games for the most part, and then a couple of major ones, right, like Elder Scrolls 6. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this, but right now basically everybody is turning on Xbox, and you've also got this EA exec taking shots at them, saying that they are obsessed with short-term results. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I
don't think they're in short-term results right now, because they're looking at Game Pass numbers. They're hiring so many studios. They're only in for the short term at the moment because they're at a loss for buying studios. But I think Xbox is actually playing the long game with Game Pass, cloud gaming, getting people to go on PC, Microsoft Store. I don't think they're really into the short term results. I don't see where he's coming from with that. Maybe the only way I can see that right now is trying to make up the money they spent acquiring the studios. But until then, thank you so much for watching. We'll get to another one. Give Vara a like. She's nice. She also has a Rumble page if you want to check out her Rumble page if you're watching this on Rumble.